Hi guys, this is Crowded Tea over here on Earth SMP. I wanted to show you guys today how you can mend your stuff without rank, without the anvil. I see a lot of people come up in the Discord when they're asking people to mend their armor, mend their weapons. You can ask Demis to do it. But one of the issues is, first off, in order for a demi or a champion to mend your weapons, you need to have it in your hand. Which means if you have something, say, like my pickaxe here, it's worth a lot of money on Earth. I have to give it to a total stranger or a trusted friend, which may or may not keep my pickaxe. I don't want to lose my pickaxe. So when I don't have rank, this is what I do to mend my stuff. Okay, so what I have done here is I have built an auto smelter. Not only is it an auto smelter, but I have little levers here on my furnace. It will hoard the furnace XP. So you know how when you smelt stuff and then you go into your furnace and you pull the stuff out of your furnace, it gives you a little bit of XP? What we're going to do is we're going to build something that's going to hoard it. And then when I want it, I can pull it out. So we're going to pop up top. Oh, great. It's dark and it's raining. All right. We're going to come over here because I cannot place hoppers in my city. So we're going to do this over here. So what you need to build it is you have a chest. You have a hopper. Most people know how to, you know what? I can't do hoppers that way here on Earth. How many times am I going to do that? I will never learn. Okay, so these netherite blocks I am using to bypass the hopper filter. Crouch. All right, and then we're going to put a chest here. That's going to end up being a hopper. So all those blocks that I just placed, I am going to make into hoppers. Alrighty, so this is a basic auto smelter, and what's really nice is when I want to use it, this back one here becomes my fuel. Awesome use for blaze rods. This top one here, we're going to put some things in to smelt. All right, while that's smelting, we're going to come over here to the front, and the most important piece is we're going to put this lever. Now, as the lever is up, the hopper is on. It's sucking stuff out of the furnace. It's putting it down here in the chest. But when the lever is down, it puts it over here where you would with a normal furnace. So we're going to let those two stacks of netherrack smelt. Now, I am always throwing things in my furnace, whether I need it or not. If you go to the nether to mine some quartz, you're going to end up with a little bit of netherrack, may or may not have a use for it. I throw it in my furnace. If I am grinding at a mob farm and I have all this raw meat, I'm throwing it in my furnace. Pretty much anything I could smelt. I'm digging out a hole for my base. I'm throwing that cobbled deep slate and that cobblestone into my furnace. And do I really need to smelt it? No, not really. I just do it so that I can fill up this furnace full of XP so that when my tools are low and I need it, I can pull it out. Now, I see a lot of people that the important thing is to have mending on your armor. So I have mending on your tools. If you do not have mending, check the auction house, hit me up. I sell mending books. Most of my money comes from selling mending books, and when I have time, I throw it up on auction house. Some of the other ways that people mend their armor is they throw it in the anvil, they give it like a netherite ingot, and they'll fix their armor and things like that. The problem with that is every time you fix your tools or your armor in the anvil, it gets more and more expensive each time. So when you hit about the fourth time or so, it'll get to a point where it's too expensive for you to mend that particular tool. And now what do? So this I do not have to worry about. Like I said, I put mending on it and I do this. Also, shovels are a really hard one. You know, if I wanted to mend my pick, I can go to the nether, I can mine quartz, I can mend the pick, I can mend my armor. If I wanted to mend my sword, I could go to a public XP farm and collect XP that way. But when you get to something, say like a shovel, unless you're sitting there grinding mobs at the mob farm with the shovel, it gets a little tricky. There's really nothing you can mine with a shovel that gives you the XP that you need. So this will come in handy for things like that, for things like bows, maybe your shield that you can't really put in your main hand and mend at the same time. Also, if you are grinding at your mob farm, oops, it's all in here. You notice I am using blaze rods. If you're grinding a mob farm, you have to grind the blazes to get the blaze rods. It's one of the few mobs we have here that does not do automatic drops, and it makes a very nice fuel source. Other ways we get fuel sources is you can grab yourself some buckets and literally take your globe and go down here and teleport to the nether and fill up those buckets with lava. Lava does smelt more items. Lava will smelt up to 100 items in one bucket, but blaze rods are a little bit easier to get your hands on, especially if, like I said, we're at a public mob farm. The other nice thing about this is that when you do pull the XP from here, you are getting all of the stuff you smelt. You're not just getting that one singular stack. So you're getting tons of XP. I have had times where all four of my armor is down low. I have something in my offhand. If you have a vault item, all of the vaults can be offhanded. So if you ever lose it out of your inventory, check that offhand, especially if you don't carry a shield. And then you can put one in your main hand. So depending on what you're up to, you can mend up to 6 items all at once. One of the other nice things about having an auto smelter like this is I can just fill that chest up full of stuff. I can fill this chest here full of fuel, and it will all pop out here, and I don't have to worry about having to constantly change the stacks inside when I run out of fuel or when I run out of things to smelt. Okay, guys, we are now all smelted. I have smelted almost 2 stacks. We are now empty. So what I am going to do is I am going to throw, yeah, that's right. I am going to throw these 5 in here. I'm going to flip that lever. Let's go into my furnace. And if you watch, now what it's going to do is it's going to go into that slot just like a normal furnace. Now, my armor doesn't need a whole lot of mending, but it is not 100% new, and I do have this pickaxe here. So with pickaxe in hand, if I had, oh, that's nice, my victory goddess needs a little bit. You could also put something in your offhand, your shield, your vault item. As I said, all of the vaults can be offhanded. We're going to go into the furnace, and we are going to pull that out. Let's see what that gave me. Not a lot, because it was only 2 stacks, but it mended my helmet. But that is how you make one of these. Okay, guys, so what I have done is I have sat here and smelted a lot of stuff, and we are still going. But we are going to see what I can get mended here. So, oh, hey, look, my pickaxe got fixed in that last one. Alrighty. So we have this pickaxe that needs to be fixed, and just for funsies, I went and found myself some broken armor. Let's see how much XP I can pull out of this. So we are going to shut that off. We're going to make sure our tool, whatever we want to mend, is in our main hand. So if I had a shovel, great place for my shovel. I'm going to come over here to this furnace, and we are going to pull out the XP, and let's see what happened. Okay, so I did see that bar go up on that pickaxe. It did not touch my armor, but trust me, guys, the more you smelt, the more XP you get. And if you're smelting chests and chests and chests of stuff because you just don't need it mended at the moment, it will fix everything. I promise you. And as you can see, I got 2 here. That was only 1 furnace. So I have 1, 2 here, and then I have another 2 over here. So if I keep these guys burning, I can build up a lot of XP. And I have come over here and mended all 6 at a crack. Yes, that took a lot of smelting. But it can happen. It is a pretty fun little OP fact. And saves you from having to beg and plead and wait for that demi to come online, your big demi friend who fixes your armor. You don't have to wait for it. This is what I do when I don't have demi or my friends don't have demi. And by the way, I'm back to being a demigod for free with pizzas giveaways. Anywho, you guys have a wonderful day. Hope you're enjoying my videos. Hope you learned something. Don't forget to build one of these if you don't have rank. And bye!